Before building a dynamic web application using Dreamweaver CS4, you first have to select an application server. Application server software runs on the server and is responsible for receiving requests from the browser, processing scripts, and returning dynamically generated HTML to the browser. Here are some of the questions you should ask. First of all, does your organization already have an investment in one of the supported application server products? For example, if your organization has a site license for ColdFusion or a number of programmers experienced in PHP, those are factors that would steer you to those application servers. You should also know which operating system you'll be using on your server. If you're using Windows, you can choose pretty much any application server. If you're using Linux, Mac, or some other non-Windows environment, you'll be a little bit more limited. And you should also know whether it's going to be okay to pay license fees for your application server software. In particular, ColdFusion requires a license fee, while the other application server products I describe here are completely free or are bundled with software that comes from Microsoft. Here are the application server products that are supported by Dreamweaver. The first three application servers that are listed here, PHP, ColdFusion, and ASP, are the most strongly recommended. This is because these are the products that Adobe currently maintains and fully tests with each new Dreamweaver release. There is existing support for ASP.NET and J2EE servers, but that support has not been fully tested by Adobe, and in fact Adobe has indicated that future versions of Dreamweaver may not include support for these application servers. If you need a completely free solution, and one that works equally well on all operating systems, take a look at PHP. PHP is a free open-source application server product which you can download and install in a number of ways. It's most commonly paired with MySQL, a database server which is free under many circumstances. PHP is available on most operating systems including Windows, Mac, and Linux, and you can install it either as an individual product paired with an existing Apache installation, or you can download and install a free server bundle that includes Apache, the web server, MySQL, the database, and PHP, the application server. During this video series, I'll be describing the use of WAMP, a server bundle for Windows, and MAMP, a server bundle for Mac. Both WAMP and MAMP include all three servers and supporting administrative applications. Another option is ColdFusion. ColdFusion was originally created in 1995 by a company called Alaire. After a couple of acquisitions, it's now owned and maintained by Adobe. It's available for many operating systems, once again including Windows, Mac, Linux, Solaris, and others. And unlike PHP, it works out of the box with pretty much any database you might need to use. For example, all editions of ColdFusion include drivers for MySQL, SQL Server, and Microsoft Access. And if you're using the more advanced Enterprise edition of ColdFusion, there are also built-in drivers for Oracle, DB2, and other enterprise-level databases. ColdFusion does require a license fee if you want your own dedicated copy of the server, but ColdFusion support is also included by many ISPs with shared hosting services. Of the available application servers supported by Dreamweaver, my favorites are PHP and ColdFusion. PHP because it's completely free, and ColdFusion because its code, that is its programming language, is the easiest to understand of any of these software packages. If you want to use ASP or ASP.NET, there are a couple of things to know about. First of all, ASP, or Active Server Pages, is Microsoft's older application server product. It's integrated into IIS, but it must be explicitly installed in IIS 7. It uses two programming languages that you can choose from, VBScript and JScript, and it's important to know that if you're installing ASP under IIS 7 on Windows Vista, there's quite a bit of special configuration you need to go through to get it working correctly. ASP.NET is Microsoft's newer web application technology. It's a highly object-oriented environment that supports multiple programming languages. A significant limitation of using ASP.NET with Dreamweaver is that Dreamweaver only supports ASP.NET 1.1, while the ASP.NET product itself has evolved to version 3.5. And Adobe has announced that they will not be upgrading ASP.NET support in Dreamweaver in future releases. For these reasons, I don't cover ASP and ASP.NET in these videos, but as I mentioned in an earlier video, there is available training for ASP and ASP.NET integration with Dreamweaver in earlier video series from lynda.com.